folks, welcome to part 7, I believe, of my CNC adventure series. I've had the machine for nearly 3 weeks now, and I have kind of successfully completed 2 jobs with it so far, using a mixture of software and stuff. And this episode's going to be kind of like a post-mortem of the process, some of the refinements I've made, some of the lessons that I've learned, of which there were many, and you know, and I'll show you some of the work that's getting done with the CNC machine. It does not preclude hand sanding though, which I like doing, by the way. Most people don't. There you go. But anyway, so let's see the aftermath of this and what went on and what is to become of it. Let's go and have a look. Hi. Okay, autopsy, post-mortem. Let's have a look at some of the mistakes that were made on my first run using my second run as a reference. It might seem weird, but bear with me. Let's get this out of the way. That's the CAD drawing of the base itself. As you can see there. Yeah, dead ringer, right? Dead ringer. There you go. Now you see it, now you don't. Okay? So let's put this back on the bed of the CNC machine, and I'll take you through the process. Get this out of the way. Yeah, so carving the top was easy. Okay, that's easy. It took about an hour and 20 minutes to carve the 2 pickup pockets, the neck pocket, the control cavity and the control lip for the control plate, and the second operation was then the bridge recess, a contour of the body going halfway down the stock, okay, halfway, and then roughing out the comfort carve here, roughing out the comfort carve, and then fine carving it. That takes about, actually that's nearly an hour and 45 minutes. That was 2 setups to do that. 3 setups actually, because I need to change tool bits for that. Of course, this was a combination of a spiral downcut end mill and then an upcut end mill to finish it off. That clears out the base of the pockets much better than a downcut end mill. 2 flute, 1/4 inch. Same with the neck pocket, same with this. Same with the bridge recess. And then for the roughing of the surface, to get all these contours and stuff in there, I used a 1/4 inch flat end mill with 3D adaptive clearing as a tool path. And then for the fine finishing of the carve, I used a 1/4 inch ball nose end mill, and that really tidies everything up. Here's where the problem starts. Okay, so imagine this is a block here. You've got to do this now. Now you've got to do the back. Okay, so you flip it, and the first run I did, I found that my let me back up a bit. So I had my square piece of stock in there. I took my 0 in the CAM software as this point here, right at the edge, and I use a measuring device called a bit 0. I'll show you that later, to tell the machine where the 0 point of the job is, where the origin, the WCS, working coordinate system is. Okay, fine, it did all that. Now, I thought, when I flipped the part, see, so the origin was about here somewhere. When I flip the part, this is still square, I'm going to make the origin here so that it mirrors exactly the curve. So it's sitting maybe like this, square there, takes that as an origin, goes and carves the back, and hopefully as it goes through on the final contour there, everything matches up. Well, it didn't match up. The first one left steps and lines and offsets. Look, you see that there? It's a big offset there. What went wrong? Well, I'm finding out more about indexing your piece when you're going to flip the piece, and your working coordinate system, the dimension and squareness of the stock should match completely. Now, a lot of people out there use dowels, a dowel pattern in the wasteboard, and then they put the dowel pattern into the stock so that they can precisely locate the stock, and then the machine, once you zero the machine to the origin, it knows where it is. Yeah, you know, there's all different sorts of theories and stuff like that on how to do this, but I found that using the set square that I sort of bolted to the wasteboard and using a nice perfectly square piece of stock, I was able to see in the CAM software the drawing looks like that for the top and the drawing looks like that for the bottom. That's why I made the origin here for the top and here for the bottom, so that it indexes correctly. Now, it's not all plain sailing. I got a very, very slight offset on this too, because I didn't use a decent square, and I think the stock was slightly off square, or the stock could have moved during this. This is the second run actually afterwards. Stock could have moved, I didn't have it clamped right enough, I don't know what happened, so I'm still investigating that. But the back of this base is nowhere near as intricate as the front, so I could cut all the way through and put these in by hand, but that kind of defeats the purpose of having the CNC machine for repeatability, you know. So I'm going to have to learn it, and I'll have to get some, you know, crappy pieces of stock wood and do some testing on that. But this one came out okay, you know, after a bit of sanding, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It still comes in within spec, because I do leave stock after each operation, because I like to final sand by hand for that personal touch. And that's the autopsy. Hopefully I'll have learned something, and I'm still sticking to the origin flip that I'm doing. I just need to make everything, make sure everything's square and the machine knows where it's going. So that's that. So we'll get on with this, and we'll give this a little sand down, and we'll have a look at it and see what it's like. Brilliant. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I've got everything sanded down to like 120. I'm going to use some 120 paper here, and I'm going to take the sharp lines off these fillets. If there were sharp lines left on it, I could have created a toolpath that would produce beautiful curved lines, but I didn't want to sit there for 10 weeks. Well, the machine did that, the finer and finer you make something, the longer and longer it takes to carve, because it's taking off extremely small pieces of material at a time. It's much quicker to hand sand it. And the problem, you know, if you've got these sharp edges on the fillets, what happens is when you come to finish it, whether it be just an oil finish, or you know, a basic finish like that, or you know, a nitrocellulose lacquer, or a paint job with a 2K clear coat on it, what's going to happen is these edges here are not going to take as much finish as the rest of the flat surfaces in the body. And what will happen then is you've got the chance of peeling and cracking, you know, at these very thin finish lines. And when you come to polish the guitar, that finish will get rubbed off. So what we're doing is we're taking sharp edges off, going around with this 120 grit to begin with, and taking all the sharp edges out, and actually also removing any tool marks that might exist, so we get a nice flow to the guitar. And we're going to take all these sharp edges off, so we have a nice flow. Let's turn this round. So, see that fillet there's already been nearly done. And just rounding it off. As you can see, I'm using this 120 with a pencil eraser in there so that it deforms to the line of the guitar. I don't want a wooden block here will give me a straight chamfer, and I don't want that, so use a little block of rubber and you know, get these edges beautifully smooth. Once you've done that, of course, you turn the guitar around to the other side. Always use a soft cloth when you put the guitar in the vise. Of course, you don't want the vise to dig into the beautiful wood that you've laboured over for millions of years. Just round that off and take these strong lines out, so when the guitar does take a finish, it will take it evenly, and there'll be less chance of burn through on your polishing and buffing and polishing process. That's the way to do it. Now this guitar's meant to have some sharp edges, but that's okay. I mean, they can be rounded slightly, like here. I'm just roughing this out, don't worry about it. Don't cringe. Sort of round bevels on there, and once that sort of, you can start to feel it with your fingers that all the sharp edges have gone, you're good to go down to finer and finer grits, and get down to like 400. Then at 400 you're ready to start prepping for finishing. With this one, it's swamp ash, so I'll need to use a grain filler on it. So I will fill the grain, but with the grain filler I'm going to use, I'm going to mix it with some stain, and I haven't decided yet. I actually put a question on the facey, you know, on the facey, asking people what they think, and I got like a multitude of answers. Translucent colours, straight stain, oil and wax finish. I've only made one guitar with an oil and wax finish, and I think I might actually show you that one. It was the very first Falcon, it was Falcon, the Gasby's Falcon Series 1, serial number 3, and I kept that one for myself. So I might demo that make care of that later. Show you what I mean. But anyway, that's that part of the process. Just make sure there's no tool marks and no very sharp edges, because you will regret it when you come to finish it. So it's just hand sanding from here on in to get this thing prepared for finishing. And that's great. I mean, considering it took about, overall it took about 3 hours and 20 minutes to cut this out on the CNC. And you know, maybe another couple of hours of sanding, just to make sure everything's okay. And you're ready to finish. So you can do a body a day. For a small time luthier like me, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. So, on to the next. Okay, Folktaculars, Folktington Smythes. We have this down to 220 grit on the surface, and I just want to see what the grain really looks like. You know, a kind of full finished grain, and the way I do that is I get some odourless mineral spirits, and I put it on a cloth or a shop towel, and I do that. It shows me what the grain looks like, and it actually will also show me if there's any tool marks or bad sanding going on, and doesn't that look utterly spectac? Spectac. Nobody will see that anyway. I usually write a secret message in the neck pocket, so if you buy one of my bases, don't take the neck off. Just let it remain a secret for all time. For all time. And then people will cry because you've got a secret, they don't know it, and neither do you. So you'll all cry. So see, now I can see there's little striations there from tooling that I need to take out. But you can see, you know, just doing that before it dries up, you can tell what it's going to look like when it takes some sort of a stain. It does look very nice. There is a delineation because it's a three-piece blank that I bought, but it still looks fantastic to me. And I'll buy that for $1, you know. Yeah, looks really good. So that's the old mineral spirit trick to bring out the grain. It looks beautiful, and I better get a photograph of that before it dies away, right? Let's have a look. Oh man, I've been ignoring all my messages all day, everything. I've been so busy doing nothing. Let's just wipe this down again. And hope it stays for a little bit. Should do. Mineral spirits takes a little while to evaporate out of the wood. That's good for the wood though. Not too much though. Not too much. Keep the mantra going, camera. Let's take a little shot of that. Hands are in the way. Hands in the way. There you go. I'll stick that up on the face. Nice. Let's see it. Shit. Rotate. Save. See? There it is. See? So, yeah. Complete with clarty black dirty towel. Actually, it's not dirty, it's clean, it's been washed, but it's just got stain and glue and stuff in it. Don't use that to dry your armpits. Anyway, right. So, yeah, there we go. Alright, looks good. I think that'll about do it, I think, maybe for this episode. I did promise to show you the my personal gas-based Falcon Series 1, so I'll go and do that. What do you think? Wear your ear protectors. Well folks, that's the end of part 7, I think. Is it 7? Yeah. Anyway, it's the end of this series, and it was a great pleasure to share this voyage of discovery with you. I've still a lot more to learn about this dark art of CNC machining, but no doubt the machine will be playing a bigger part in my base building in the future, and also be featured in much more videos in the future, hopefully. So, until the next time, once again, stay safe, be good, I'll catch you next time. Cheers folks, hit that subscribe button if you already haven't done, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.